What is up, y'all? Fight Fiend Mix here, coming at you with a new video. Appreciate you guys checking out last night's video with the PFL 1 season opener 2023 weigh-ins. I hope you enjoyed that one. I've been fortunate enough to be granted credentials to a couple of PFL events, so I'm going to post as much content as I possibly can. Look forward to a few more videos for myself. This one is really more so just kind of a recap of tonight's action. First and foremost, awesome card. There was a lot of real competitive fights and like a couple of one-sided ass whoopings, which was fun to watch, of course. But for the most part, they're pretty competitive. The story of the night being Bubba Jenkins getting the win back from Chris Wade, winning a dominant, like hella dominant, 3-round unanimous decision, where a little bit of controversy actually, because there was a point where Jenkins had, I think, sort of like a front headlock on Wade, and he threw a knee, which from my angle did look like it was illegal, like it landed on Wade's head. But after checking out the replay, it turns out that it was to the sternum and also his chest, so totally legal. And then for some reason the referee still gave Wade a little bit of time to recover. And then later on, I think there was like supposedly an eye poke, which it didn't look like an eye poke because the Bubba Jenkins' hands was in a fist, so it was really more so like a knuckle or something. But nonetheless, Chris Wade got some time. Even that wasn't enough to get Bubba off of him. So awesome win from Jenkins, and he moves on, gets himself 3 points in the PFL. And then the main event, which is kind of like what this video was about primarily. Bottom line is Marlon Moraes needs to fucking call it quits. Like for real. He moved up to featherweight, and the precursor to PFL was World Series fighting, and there's where Moraes kind of made his name prior to going to the UFC. So it was kind of natural that when he left the UFC, which supposedly he retired, and he would come back to PFL, he would kind of be a headliner, right? And sure enough, they put him in the season, and he moved up to featherweight in the first opening bout of the season. Fights the champion, which is I can never pronounce his fucking name. Brandon, I have a sheet right here. Brandon, yeah. So I can't pronounce his fucking name for the life of me. So my bad. English dude, right? So anyway, I'm gonna switch hands here because I'm holding it with my hand. So, dude, it's no joke. Fucking Brandon and Moraes, they look like they were like 2 different weight classes difference. No fucking joke. Don't get me wrong, Moraes is a stocky motherfucker, right? And I don't know how the hell he ever made 135 because he's a big dude. Stocky at least, not height wise. But man, when they were next to one another in the cage after rehydrating right after the weigh-in, fuck, Brendan looked like he was like 2 weight classes bigger, and you can tell like the punches. And mind you, Moraes wasn't doing that bad. He was actually controlling the center of the cage for a bit of the fight, and there were a couple of times where he was moving Brandon back. And Brandon, by the way, is the 2022 champ at featherweight. So he's gone up against the best of the best that the PFL has to offer. And Moraes, I'm talking about. So he didn't look that bad. It wasn't until those leg kicks really started to affect him. And I think this is like, I think his sixth. Let me see, 6th TKO, KO or TKO loss in his last 7 fights for Moraes. So it didn't look good for him, and I kind of felt for him, because like there were a couple of people in the media suites. By the way, here's my media credentials. There was some people in the suite with me in the media suites that put like they were putting some like money on fucking Moraes, putting him on a parlay, and they were just like I hope he wins. And he was, I want to say, like +4 something, the underdog, heavy underdog, and it showed. And I want to say Brandon, the current champ, the reigning champ, the defending champ, was like -600. So it was pretty one-sided, and that's kind of how it turned out. There were a couple of glimpses of the old Moraes, and for a quick second you're like, oh shit, he's gonna pull it off, because regardless, he's got some heavy ass hands. He landed a couple of uppercuts on Brandon that for a quick second we're like, oh shit, is he actually gonna do it? But ultimately those leg kicks really did him in, and you guys will see the highlights. I'm sure by the time I post this video you guys already know who won, so there's no point in posting results, which is kind of one of the reasons why I don't like posting results, because everybody does that, right? So it's nothing special really, so you can get it from anywhere else, I suppose. Well, I guess the same thing goes for the weigh-ins, I suppose, but I like recording the weigh-ins at least. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. I was trying to get a nice angle of the strip there. Let me know what you guys think. Should Moraes call it quits? Because 6 out of 7 at this point, or 7 out of 8. Fuck, I've already lost a count of how many straight losses he has. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. I saw some people today at the in ringside. I saw Teofimo Lopez and Aljamain Sterling. Who else? A couple of other guys, notable guys. But they were all in the weight class, but in the UFC, I should say, right, 135ers. But yeah, I don't know. After seeing the way Moraes lost, and mind you, it wasn't like it was a really messed up KO like he's been KO in the past, like with who was it? The way he got stopped by Cejudo or like Sandhagen. It wasn't those kind of stoppages, but it was more of a physical thing, right? He took those leg kicks, and eventually those leg kicks, took a toll. And I think if I'm not mistaken, it was in the second round. Yeah, it was in the second round. Because I got the sheet right here of the, my scorecard. But anyway, yeah, it's kind of sad to see these guys still continuing, and Moraes specifically, because he still has all his faculties, right? He's not slurring his words. It's not like he's taking too many at one. He has, but I mean, like, to the point where it's his his KO losses have been more like short, spurts. It wasn't like he took punishment for like 5 fucking rounds, right? Something that will leave some like serious permanent damage. And they're relatively quick, and this was no exception. He got those leg kicks, and those leg kicks did him in. Awesome job by Brendan. That dude, he's a bad motherfucker, man. And I wish I can pronounce his last name. You guys will see it here. I wish I could pronounce the motherfucker's last name, but I'm bad with names, so my bad. And oddly, I have a really long last name, and people hack up my name and butcher it like a motherfucker. So obviously, I make the effort to pronounce other people's last names at least correctly. But anyway, that dude is bad, man. That English dude is fucking bad. Like, he can seriously throw down, and I think he can hang with some of the top 145ers in the world. Pitbull. Damn, I might be going a stretch to say Volk, but definitely against somebody like Pitbull, damn, that would be a badass fucking fight. And Bellator is pretty known to pretty well known to do co-promotion, especially with a lot of Japanese organizations. So maybe we get to see PFL Bellator cross promotion one day. But if that ever happens, I'm putting my money on Brendan big time. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to kind of recap that with you. I think Moraes needs to call it quits. At this point, he's pretty much done with. Those KOs were bad. He's had several of them back to back. I think the last time he got a victory was against Jose Aldo, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that even that one was a close one. That was one of his last few fights at 135, and it was pretty bad. Like, it's pretty messed up that they're letting him continue like that. Like his people, letting him pretty much continue fighting. Like, there's nobody around him to say at least like, hey, call it quits. That's it. Let's throw in the towel. I guess he must have a lot of like yes people around him, really. But anyway, that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Check out all the results online. I went ahead and posted the results. You'll see everybody else posting the results. You're not going to see it from me specifically. But anyway, thank you guys for listening. Just kind of quick recap of tonight's PFL. I will be here next week, as a matter of fact. I'm going to try to post next week's weigh-in results as well. Keep me posted. I'll keep you guys posted on that as well. Make sure to follow me on Fight Feed Migs, Instagram, and of course YouTube. Thank y'all. Have yourself a good night. Peace.